Fruit Ninja isn't on YouTube, baby. Do you want to play Fruit Ninja or do you want to watch YouTube?
Watch YouTube.
Okay. What do you want to watch on YouTube?
That's it. Fruit.
Do you want to watch Baby Ollie?
No bang fruit.
I have a zombie. A zombie's gonna get me. A zombie's gonna get me. Hi. You guys. She's eyeballing me. Trying to eat, mommy. Say, yeah, Mom, it's delicious. Yeah, I'm just so hungry. I'm just so hungry, Mom. She's like, you said the H word. What does that mean? Want some milkies? Hi. Who's that? Who's that? Are you gonna try to eat me? Oh, you're like coming at me like the walkers. Aren't you? Look at. You should see the look on her face. She's like, oh, I'm gonna eat you. Yeah, I was just watching The Walking Dead while you were sleeping. I think this is very fitting for you to just come lunging at me with your mouth all open like you're gonna have me for a snack. Are you going to eat, Mommy? How about some milk? Deal? Sound good? You want some milkies? You hungry? You hungry? Hungry. Hungry. Say, I want milk, Mommy. Want it. Give me the milk. Give it to me. She's like, what is that baby? I want it. That's you, silly goose. Oh, who's that pretty girl? Who's that pretty girl? I think it's time to feed the baby. Say bye-bye. Say bye. Say bye-bye, friends. See you tomorrow. I'm gonna get some milk drunk and go to sleep. Bye, guys. But 4th and 30? 4th and 30? Say, what were you doing, guys? 4th and 30? 4th and 30? What were you guys doing?
4th and 30?
And you're like, now I just want to eat you. Go ahead.
Lawn chair?
He's like, what is going on?
Fish fry?
I think it's a breadstick.
Breadstick?
Do you not like that? You tell Daddy to stop. Daddy's giving you some stickers. There you go. Where's your bread?
Here you go.
Your bread. Is it too hot? I think it is. Oh, sweetie, it's okay. Just give it a minute. Just wait a minute. It'll be fine in a minute.
Wait, hold on. Not too bad, Sam. That's amazing.
Chickenoki soup. Is that yummy? You gonna eat another one? No. My hand has been taken hostage. Can I have it back? my hair back?
That's hilarious.
Got your water? Hey. Oh, better. Oh, better.
It's crazy, son.
Is that good?
Yeah.
Say hi. She really wants it. You can't try to eat it. You can't eat it. You guys, okay, I need to just tell you the backstory first because I don't think I've vlogged about this at all. Anyway, a couple of weeks ago, one of my friends was talking in one of our Facebook groups about how she, like, long story short, she regrets not going to college right after high school, and she feels like she's not as accomplished as her husband because he just got his bachelor's degree and now he's working on his master's. So anyway, I was, people were commenting and trying to, like, kind of reassure her, make her feel better, and I was like, hey, I went to college right after high school and I didn't use it at all. Like, the jobs that I worked after I got it had nothing to do with it, and I didn't even need a degree at all, let alone that one, to do those jobs. And then I've been staying home with my kids. Like, I haven't used it and I probably never will. And it got me to thinking about why I haven't used it. Now, if you don't know, which you probably don't if you're watching this, because I don't think I've talked about it in my videos before, so unless you know me personally, you wouldn't know. My degree is in forensic technology, like, the show CSI. In San Diego, the school that I went to is a hands-on education, and we do, like, mock crime scenes and we practice actually doing it, and it's one of the few schools that has that. So it's pretty well known, especially in the whole state of California. So it's really, really competitive in that area to get hired on in a crime lab because there's all the students graduating out of the program every single semester, and there's only so many openings. I mean, that's the thing. Even big cities only have a handful of forensic techs. And it's not a job that has a really high turnover rate either, so openings are very few and far between. And it's really, really competitive just to get a non-paid internship there, where they require 20 hours a week unpaid. And so basically, in the city of San Diego, because it's so competitive, they have their choice of the litter. They usually only hire their interns. Like, it is almost impossible to get hired on without having done the internship. And it's really, really hard just to get the internship. So I did have an insider, like, connection because my uncle is a detective for San Diego Police Department. So he knew the supervisor of the crime lab. So he set me up a, like, interview meeting with him. So I went and met with this guy. His name is, I'm just going to use his first name. His name is Joe. And Joe showed me around the entire crime lab, all the different areas of it. Had a fun chat with the guys in chemistry who were sitting there making cocaine. They make it periodically so that they can use it for undercover operations and to train the drug dogs and things like that. So anyway, he showed me around. I ate lunch with him and the forensic techs that were there on shift. It was great, and he basically, like, pretty much literally said, as long as you pass the background check, the internship is yours. Well, I didn't pass that background check. Apparently, they're one of the few law enforcement agencies that still use a literal lie detector test as part of the background. There's a reason they're not admissible in court, we'll just say that. It said that I was lying on one particular question. The analyst asked me more than once, and he says that I lied every time he asked me. I'm not going to go into it, because that's a whole other can of worms, but it was a question that made me really uncomfortable. And when you do the lie detector test, they ask you the question, you answer, and then you sit there for literally 30 seconds in silence until they ask you the next one. And they explain to you not to like overthink it because that'll skew the results. Well, easier said than done. I was totally doing that. Like every single time I'd say no, and then my mind would wander, because that's a really long time for my brain to do nothing. I have a short attention span. I'm a multitasker. Like I can't just sit there and be. So of course my mind would wander, and I would think things like, well, what about this one time? I mean, that doesn't count. And I guess just doing that was enough to make it look like I was lying. But I can definitely assure you I was not lying. So anyway, I failed the lie detector test. So I drove home in tears crying because I felt like I just ruined my whole career. So that wasn't my first time that I applied with a law enforcement agency. I was also working on trying to become a dispatcher for the sheriff's department at the same time, because that's what my mother-in-law does. And so I knew like how the process goes, and you know, I don't remember if it was during that process or if it was in one of my classes in college or what, but I remember someone saying every time you apply for a new law enforcement agency, you put what agency they were, how far you got in the background check, why you didn't get hired. And they said, you know, if you are not hired because you failed the background check, and especially because you got caught lying, that you might as well just give up, because they'll never accept that. So I went to my appointment with my background investigator a couple days later, and I just totally cried and cried and cried, and she said, you know, for what it's worth, I believe you, but unfortunately it's not up to me anymore. I'm just going to write my report and my findings and my opinion, but it's up to Joe on what he's going to do. And I never heard from him again, and I tried to contact him a couple times, and I never heard back. So I'm like, I guess it's not going to work out. So I'm like, well, I guess maybe, again, like when someone explained to me, I guess if enough time goes by, sometimes they'll consider. So I'm like, I guess if nothing else, I'll have to wait several years, you know, because I'm young. It was when I was like 22 years old. Like, maybe they'll feel differently about it if it's years down the line. So yeah, it's been 8 years. So, wow, it's been 8 years. Anyways, so it's really competitive in San Diego. So I kind of just gave up on the idea that I would ever get to do that, ever. But then it got me to thinking when I was talking about how I haven't used it, I wonder if it's less competitive in other areas of the country. You know, I have this opportunity, I have to live far away from home. Why not, you know, take advantage of that, make the most of it? So on a whim, I went to the city of Pensacola's website to look, and they literally had an opening for crime scene analyst. And it was closing in a couple of days. So I applied. It's really not the best timing. I mean, honestly, I never planned to return to work, at least not for a very, very long time. I planned to be a stay-at-home mom. I planned to homeschool. But, I mean, this is my dream job. This is what I went to college for. Like, I have to, like, at least try. And I had just so many mixed feelings about it, but I needed to at least apply and just see what happens and go from there. So, that brings you up to speed. So I applied, it closed like about 2 weeks ago. I was looking in my email earlier and for something else entirely, and I saw that there's an email back from them about it sitting there. And I'm so freaking out right now. I'm freaking out, you guys. I don't even know what I want. Like, I don't know if I want it to say, yes, we've been chosen for an interview, or if I want it to say that I wasn't, and like I don't know how I'm gonna feel, like, because I really don't want to leave my babies. I really don't, at least not anytime soon. But, you know, it's not an opportunity that opens up very often, so I had to at least try now rather than waiting till a better time. But it's like I still really, really don't want to leave her, and I'm really afraid if working full-time would like ruin our breastfeeding relationship and whatnot. So part of me kind of like hopes it says that I wasn't, like, that's it, end of the line, so that I can just feel relieved and hey, I tried, but whatever. And part of me is like really wants it really bad, and I just don't know. I just don't know how I feel. I don't know what I want. I'm freaking out. Like either way, I'm about to open it. Like, should I open it? Should I read it? I'm scared to open it. I'm scared. Like my heart is literally like racing right now. I can only see the first line and it doesn't really give me any clue. It says, "Dear Angel Taylor, thank you for your interest in employment in the Pensacola," and then that's it. I'm so scared to open it. I'm so scared. Okay. Okay, okay. It says, application screening process is complete. Based on the quality of applicants, a group has been invited to continue in selection process. These applicants have advanced experience, certifications, or degrees that relate directly to the position. Although you were not placed in the group of applicants continuing in the process, we do appreciate the time you spent participating in the application process. Because you applied electronically, your application is saved online, but may be used again to apply for future positions. You are encouraged to check for future positions that may be available. Again, thank you for your interest in employment, for the time and effort you spent applying, and for giving us the opportunity to review your qualifications. We hope you will again consider the city of Pensacola as a potential employer. Okay, I'm a little tiny bit bummed, but like I said, I do feel kind of relieved because now I don't have to like have this hard decision on whether I want to go back to work or not. I mean, we could use the money, but I don't want to go back for doing just anything because I really don't want to leave my baby, and also because childcare is freaking expensive, so I'd have to make a nice amount of money for it to be worthwhile. So it is what it is. I tried. I guess it's just not gonna happen, and that's okay though. I gave up on this years ago. But anyway, there we go. That answers the question for me. It's not meant to be. It's not God's plan for me. So I will go back to the original plan of staying with my babies.